So while the term hot rodding conjures up images of going fast and doing burnouts, and these vehicles are quick, as hot rods, I'm more or less looking at them like electrical hot rods. So these carts are going to be not really golf carts. There'd be very few people golfing in these, I imagine. Not that you couldn't golf in them, but they'll have inverters on them. They'll have a significant amount of solar panels on top of them. So we're going to build our own tops. This big clunky plastic thing's going to come off. And like Redfoo's current cart, we're going to do a curved top, you know, have it machined out of aluminum, have it laser, or I should say water jet cut. So nice parts, click it together. We can sell only the tops. We can sell the whole cart, but we want to provide these because it's a great way to have something to cruise around silently with. It's a great way to have a power backup. So should the grid go down, keep your refrigerator going, your freezer going, your lights on, this vehicle can do that. So it'll have a significant amount of solar, and that solar is going to be made out of thin film. So we'll use the flexible thin film panels to keep it light, because we want to get a lot of solar up there, but as you might know, weight up high isn't ideal. If it was a normal panel, it would be 70, 80 pounds. That's too much to go up top. You know, this is probably, I would say, no more than 25 pounds, maybe not even 20 pounds. But the thin film panels, that's what's beautiful about them. They're really lightweight with aluminum framing that stays pretty lightweight, yet really structurally sound. They'll be sealed with a rain gutter to direct water nicely. So looking forward to that, as Tony will be jumping on the FreeCAD. We're going to be using FreeCAD to design that. And we'll farm out that machining to the water jet place. We'll be adding probably right around 7 kilowatt hours at 48 volts of storage here. So a nice size battery, grow watt inverter, thin film panels. The MPPT controller is in the inverter, which is really nice. So that'll kind of go on the back with an outlet. And this cart, as shabby as it looks now, is going to get new tires, going to get some nice caps. Kier will polish it to a shine. We'll clean everything up. The seats will be polished. This is a really nice cart. It's a little bit bigger. This cart is going to Redfoo. He has a seat belt in the back to put his daughter's car seat in, so super nice and safe there. This has hydraulic brakes, so being a little bit larger cart, instead of just the mechanical, simple little mechanical brakes, has nice hydraulic brakes. So that's really nice. This really is essentially an EV, and to be a solar powered EV. So kind of excited about building this. For us, the payoff with these vehicles is having it all done, and because it's a smaller vehicle, it's not a 12,500 pound E-Star, we'll have it done a lot quicker, so that payoff is going to come a lot sooner. We're excited for that. It's a nice little vehicle. I think it's something that everybody could find very useful. Okay, so we're ready to put the Vatrer battery in Redfoo's utility cart. So this is kind of a little groundskeeping utility cart. It's not actually a golf cart. but it shares the golf cart style motor and setup. We're putting an Alltrax 48 volt 400 amp controller in, so replacing the old Curtis that used to go in the system. Alltrax makes ones that has the mounting plate for adapter, so it just bolts right up, and they also have a great big like 20 pin adapter, so even everything plugs right in. Super nice, and that's what I would expect actually of Alltrax. Been working with them for years, and they put out some great products. Here's the display for the Vatrer battery. It shows temperature, which is really nice. It shows current. Of course, we're not doing anything right now, but voltage. And you can scroll through and look, you can see all kinds of different values here. Really nice stuff. And even there are all your cells. Shows you your high and your low. Really nice. We're gonna probably put that right over here, so you can kind of not take up your storage space there, but keep that thing out of the elements, so that the screen doesn't get warped by the sun or something. And how cool is that? We'll be able to put that on this rig. This rig's gonna have a little actuator with a little dual pole, dual throw switch, so you can raise and lower that bed, which will be super cute. And yeah, we'll be rocking. And here's the Vatrer charger. I've been using this on all of my 48 volt stuff, and it does really well. It takes about as much as can come out of a 110 outlet, so right around 15 amps, probably actually more around 12. Nice charger. Okay, here we go. We are putting two big battery Mustangs, which are a series of blade batteries. So pretty exciting technology there. The blade battery is built such that it lets go of heat really easily. They've had amazing results testing those batteries as far as like no thermal runaway, super long life, eco-friendly chemicals. So we're pretty stoked to put these in. These are each about 7 kilowatt hours. So right up just under 15 kilowatt hours of storage in a golf cart. So pretty cool. This is a 4-seater. It's got nice big leaf springs, so it's gonna hold that weight nicely. So I got the box prepped. We're gonna get these in. We're gonna bind them down and get this cart probably tomorrow, because we're waiting for a main contactor. We'll have this cart probably going tomorrow. All right, so we're just testing out the actuator for the back of Redfoo's rig. Seems to fit quite nicely. Let's raise it. Oh, perfect. right, check out these beautiful parts. So normally, this is stuff that I would chew out of 4x8 aluminum sheets myself with either a jigsaw or a grinder or table saw or something. So it's just wonderful to look at this stuff, just all done, perfect tolerance, laser cut, all the holes, everything, perfect tolerance. So exciting just to be able to put it together. So let's go put it together.
What could we use this for?
I don't know. What can we use this for?
Looks like a giant sled. You probably fit like 1, 2, 3, 8 people on there.
Got handles?
Wow.
Hey there, we just mounted the charge controller on Redfoo's cart. I love these little Victon charge controllers. You can Bluetooth them to your phone and see exactly what your panels are putting out. So that's 100 volt, 20 amps, right? So it'll take 100 volts. The open circuit of our panels is about 20, so that's 20, 40, 60, 80 volts, so we're well under that. And then it'll let you do 20 amps into the battery. So we're at a 48 volt battery here, and that's 20 amps. So 20 times, let's say 50, that'd be 1,000 watts that it would take. So we're only putting in about 2/5 of that. So plenty of headroom there, which is nice to keep your components lasting a long time. Time to wire it up.
Just got one of Redfoo's carts going. Little utility dump bed.
All right, a little more weight, a little more traction. All right. Check out the Solarrolla tractor. That thing proved itself today. What a beast. There. Not a super sunny day today, but we're still pulling 142 watts, half of our theoretical wattage. Actually, a little bit less than that. We have 400 watts up top. So on any given day, I usually plan for about 75% of what the rated solar is. We just so happen to have a cloudy day, but there it is. We have a Victron Bluetooth signal to our phone. And of course, it's nice to have the phone up there for many reasons. Down here, you can see our big battery displays. So we have 2 of the 7.68 kilowatt Mustangs. So 15 kilowatt hours of storage. Quite a bit of storage here in this golf cart. So over here, we have our inverter. And that is a 4 kilowatt inverter with about 8 kilowatts of peak power, giving us 120 volts, but also 240. So let us show you what we can do with that. Those batteries put a little bit of weight on those rear wheels, so it gives you nice traction, even with kind of bald tires. Okay, so let's charge some vehicles, shall we? Our quad is also 48 volts. We have here a 48 volt charger for it. So I'm just using an Anderson connector over here on this side to plug in. Plug it in. So we have, of course, 2 legs of 20 amps, right? Two basically 2,000 watt legs. So that's kind of nice because that's like having 2 you know, pretty normal, actually a little bit better than normal 15 amp outlets. Of course, like I'm saying, they're 20s. So you can charge, you know, most chargers for smaller EVs are about 1,000 watts, 1,200 watts. So no problemo. So let's plug in the tractor now. This tractor has served us well this winter. We have a snow pusher blade on it. It's got a Warp 9 net gain motor in it. And it has a 72 volt Raptor battery. So this is one of the batteries that was in our pontoon boat. Of course, we don't use the pontoon in the winter, but we do use the tractor quite a bit in the winter. So really nice, jump in it and go. It's always ready, super powerful, and really pretty fun. We have a plug here in the front. Okay, so charging both the tractor at about 1,000 watts and the quad. So the quad is our maple sap getter. So we take that out and we fill those crates with 5-gallon pails, and we pick up the maple sap that we will then be cooking down with our cooker in the garage there. And the tractor, of course, is a super useful, super important part of our Freedom Farm to cruise around electrically, nice and quiet. I can work at night, nobody's getting excited, nobody's kept awake by the noise of the tractor, and do the plowing, do what I need to do. So pretty nice. As you can see, this cart is a mobile power station. So with a 4 kilowatt inverter, it easily charges both the quad and the tractor. Why don't you take a look at the display there, just so you know we're not joking. Let's get the screen to tap, and you'll see what's coming out of each leg there. Nice little display of what's going on. And then, of course, our batteries here are showing you kind of what's going on too, showing the amps coming out. Let's go to that page. That's the next page, so it shows amps coming out. Let's go to the next page. Look at that. Actually see each battery cell. So that's really nice to be able to monitor each cell in the battery. What's under the hood? Good question. You know, here we are in the 2025 year, and instead of talking about, you know, the gasoline motors and how much we bored it out and how big our carburetor is and how low our rear end ratio is, we're electrical hot rodders. So we talk, how big is your battery? Well, it's a big battery, and we are happy to work with big battery in some of these situations where we need special stuff. Kira put a nice little label there on the inverter to show you exactly what's going on there, and there it is. There you have it. So this is truly a mobile power station. So that's quite a bit of battery. And what we found at Solarrolla is get as big a battery in as you can, because that vehicle sitting in the sun all the time, make sure you're always grasping that solar energy. In other words, make sure you have enough capacity to always be pulling it. And then when you need to use the vehicle, you don't have to use every last bit of it and then kind of do this real-time charging thing. You're basically just understanding the fact that most things are sitting around in the sun, and even on a day like today, you know, even cloudy as it is, this is still pulling, you know, 150 watts, and that adds up. This is kind of my dream, is to put together this little package that I know is super robust and super high performance, and I'm really honored to be a part of it with our fully engineered Solarrolla top. So finally we got something built in CAD got it off to the laser cutter down in Minneapolis, and we're able for the first time, instead of custom making everything, just to be able to bolt it all together with some nice little button head Allen screws and have it just perfect. Thanks to Tony Kanhke, our CAD guy, for really doing a great job. First run, it's perfect. So that hardly ever happens, but I think that's a testament to Tony's capabilities and Solarrolla in general. So pretty excited that we have the cherry on top of our Solarrolla top, and then the big batteries, which, you know, give us the capability of getting quite a bit of storage. And if you notice, it fits in there really nicely. And then the Alltrax controller, a bulletproof controller. So they used to only make the series motor controllers, Alltrax, back in the day when I first started using them. But now this cart is a parallel wound motor. So they're also making those. And they're even starting to get into the world of AC motors. So pretty exciting, because they just build great stuff. They build stuff that, you know, for like racing applications and stuff that, you know, really sees honest work and honest performance. So I'm happy to put those in because I know how they're going to perform. And now putting it all together, it's a really fun and useful package. All right, we're finished with Redfoo's utility cart. So pretty excited about this little rig. It's got a dump bed on it. It has a battery in it, so pretty amazing. It's got an Alltrax controller. Let's take a look. So there it is right there. It's even got a little bit of green to match the cart. Why don't we kind of go over to the other side there, and we'll take a look at that Alltrax controller. So that's a 48 volt, 400 amp controller. And this is a 7.68 kilowatt, 48 volt nominal battery. 51.2 is what it's saying right there. These are, of course, lithium iron phosphate batteries. So very green batteries, good lifetime, no cobalt in them. So I want to thank Vatrer for sending us this battery and giving us an opportunity to really work it and see how it's going to be in a utility cart. So this isn't a golf cart, right? This is a utility cart. So this will be used for Redfoo to take care of his pigs, his cow, and his horses. I mean, dogs. So he'll be carrying all kinds of goodies around to support all his creatures. Redfoo's a big animal lover, and we love that about him. So this was really fun to find him a little utility vehicle so it can help him do work. And of course, he loves electric stuff, so can't wait to get this out to Redfoo. It'll be leaving tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see what he does with it. So check it out. With a push of a button, your bed goes up, your little box goes up, so that if you fill it full of stuff that you just want to dump out, whether it be some cow pies or some goodies like that, you can do it. Maybe it's a leaf raker kind of situation, but it goes nice and far over, so really empty that bed really nicely. You can see our DC-DC converter there. That gives Redfoo quite a bit of 12 volt power, mostly for the actuator that runs the dump bed. So no worries there with power. That's a 500 watt DC-DC converter, takes 48 volts and turns it into 12 to run things like lights and actuators to dump the bed and things of that nature. So let's put this back down. There you can see the Vatrer charger right in the back, ready to go. I've had good luck with the chargers as well, so pretty happy with this company. All right, we have a little inverter here on Redfoo's dump bed cart. Just wanted to demonstrate it a little bit with one of my favorite tools, 4-inch grinder. So the inverter on this cart, I envision being more of a tool battery charging situation. You know, a lot of people now are using, like, for example, some of the Greenworks tools. They're all kind of battery driven. So basically, you could have your batteries, you know, in your dump bed there on your chargers and just plug them in and keep everything going for lawn work or whatever you want. But of course, if you do want to plug something in that takes 110, you certainly can do that. You got about 1,000 watts there to do that with. So that makes a cart kind of a whole different thing, because now you can bring the power to where you want to go. That's one nice thing about some of these little carts is they're mobile power stations. So you can take the power where you need to go and you aren't running cords and doing all that kind of thing. So pretty convenient. All right, we're charging a whole bunch of stuff now. We're charging our tractor. We're charging Redfoo's dump bed utility rig, and we're charging our quad. Now, I wouldn't make a habit of this because these two are on the same leg of the 220 right up to that 2,000 watt limit. So I wouldn't want to do this for very long, but just wanted to show you the capabilities of what this little rig can do. All right, so we've charged all these vehicles. In fact, we've charged them all at once. But let's up the ante. Let's see what we can have happen here with a Tesla. So here on this cart, we got a 220 outlet plug. There's our 220. Plug her in right there. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens. And there you have it. It's charging. Over here it shows us a maximum of 16 amps. Let's bring her up a little bit. There it goes. Shows us we're at 69% right now. Shows us how much time we have to charge, 4 hours, so probably at 70%. This cart will charge up the rest of this car. So pretty amazing. A golf cart charging a Tesla. And that just shows you that this is truly a capable power station. So right now we're charging this vehicle off of that one. So instead of putting a solar top on both vehicles, Redfoo and I decided, hey, you know what? This one will be the charging station and this one will be the charge. So we kind of wanted to have the best of both worlds. One has a cover, but one's a little bit more free and out in the air. And so we decided, you know, let's just stick with that one. That one has a lot more battery and a lot more inverter in it. So that one's the charging station. And this one is more of the satellite, as you might call it, which can orbit around, do its thing, and come back to the mothership for a charge.